Worm crests are 2 to 5. Aspects are 6 and up. Okay, can we buy gear yet? Like, can you allow us to use crests to buy gear? Or no? I hate that so much. It's such a... God damn it. Oh, Blizzard, come on, man. I'm so sick and tired of the only way to get gear in the end game without raiding is to just run the same dungeon over and over for just a chance at a piece of gear. It is so annoying. I pay you $15. I should not also have to rely on your stupid RNG system to get a piece of gear. I should still be able to work towards it. And the more time you put into it, the quicker you'll get it. Like, that's not how it works right now. Instead of it being the more time you put into the game, the quicker you get the piece of gear, it's the more time you put into the game, the more of a chance at a piece of gear you get. But there's also still a chance to run a dungeon 30 times and still not get the piece of gear that you're, like, targeting. And I hate that. That's so dumb. Master Servin, I was speaking plain from the first. I questioned your motives and your competence, and justly I now realize. Rumors have a way of growing more fantastic as they spread, and quite frankly, those surrounding you beggar relief. But Horsefant swore that all the stories were true. He championed your cause and begged Father to grant you patronage. And he duly listened, because for all his wisdom, he has never been able to say no to my dear half-brother, the legacy of my father's soul and discretion. Mother hated him, of course. Even on her deathbed, she refused to acknowledge him, and to be honest, she was not alone in her feelings. That's not the worst of it. At Camp Riversmeet, when we came upon the Wounded Knight, I knew immediately that one of us would have to pursue the heretics alone, an onerous task fraught with danger. And there you were, the savior of Eorzea and honored guest of House Fortom, my new comrade in arms, Harshafon's dear friend. I told myself it was to be a test, but part of me hoped that you would fail. Yet, you accepted the task without a word of protest or any sign of fear, and you duly tracked the enemy down, faced him alone, and lived to tell the tale. Plainly, Harshafant had the right of it all along. That I doubted your strength bespeaks my own weakness, but I will not doubt you again, Master Saravain. On that you have my word. About time. Master Servin, my lord, the Count much desires to speak with you regarding your time with Lord Artorial and Lord Amenelaine. Okay.
The hero returns. I cannot thank you enough for saving young Emanelaine's life. Aye, he told me everything.
Aye, he told me everything.
I've also received letters from both House Zamail and Durandare praising your conduct, and that of House Fortom. You've won us much honor, my friend.
My lord.
What is it? Speak.
Pray forgive the intrusion, my lord, but I bring grave tidings. Master Alphino and Mistress Tataru have been detained on suspicion of fomenting heresy.
What? Explain.
They were observed entering a tavern in the lower levels on some half-dozen occasions. There, it is claimed, they made a number of inquiries. Inquiries which brought them into contact with certain elements. 'Twas this which prompted a Knight of the Heavensward to demand that they be questioned. Sir Grinno, my lord.
Sir Grinno is a brute. An exceedingly accomplished brute, but a brute nonetheless. Alas, he is also a son of House Zamail. How quickly we forget the petty nature of men. I'd wager your friends are no more than pawns in another of my countrymen's games. Such is the way of things between the high houses.
Though you have won the hearts and minds of many of my own countrymen, there are those who will never be swayed, men who will dismiss your efforts and resent your successes, even as we celebrate them. 'Tis like that one such member of House Zamail is manipulating Sir Grinno, for he is not a man to dabble in politics of his own volition. He may genuinely believe your friends to be guilty, though I am quite certain his masters know better. Yet the truth will avail us not, if we cannot prove their innocence. We would do well to speak with Sir Emmerich at the congregation of our knights most heavenly. He will know more of these charges. Ah, yes. Indubitably, yes. I actually don't think I need to do that. Okay. I could probably use an aetheryte to get from point A to point. Okay. Hey, it's that same guy again. It has been too long, MochaMassiah. Would that this visit came under happier circumstances, you are come to plead for Master Alphino. Yes. Word of their detainment reached us while I was delivering my report on the Vanu Primal. Truly, I know not which is more ludicrous, these changes or that flying feathered whale. A flying feathered whale, that's nuts. That Sir Granot's accusations are baseless, I have no doubt. Refuting them will be difficult, however, he is a knight of the Heavensward. I speak of the personal guard of the Archbishop, the 12 finest knights in all of Ishgard sworn to serve his eminence alone. Suffice it to say, their testimony is unimpeachable, and I have not the authority to challenge their actions. After all the Scions have done, routing the heretics and defeating Shiva, helping us to defend the steps of faith and drive the Dravanian horde, after proving themselves true allies on countless occasions, is there naught we can do? I fear there is but one path left to us. We must demand a trial by combat. Oh, snap. But of course. In a trial by combat sanctioned by the Inquisition, the victor's claim is judged true, regardless of the petitioner's standing. Under Ishgardian law, a trial by combat pits the accuser against the accused. In this instance, Master Alphino and Mistress Tataru would be expected to face Sir Grino and a second of his choosing. Another knight of the Heavensward, most like. Two of them, by the Fury, that can hardly be considered fair. Master Alphino's magical talents will not have gone unnoticed, meaning that he will have no choice but to participate. Mistress Tataru, on the other hand, is quite obviously bereft of martial skill and should be afforded the right to name a champion to fight in her stead. Lest you doubt, I am ready and willing to serve in this capacity, as I am sure Lord Haurchefant, but all here present know that you are a most accomplished warrior among us, and mayhap in the realm at large. Then it is settled. I will visit Master Alphino at once and inform him of our intentions. Machias, meet me at the tribunal when you have made ready. Until then, my friend. This guy just rebutted my my tweet back to Warcraft on Season 4 news because I posted something about a system where you get a token, or in this case crests, because that's what's in the game right now, and you use those crests to purchase a piece of gear at, like, an example would be 100 crests. You get a tier 1 that's correlating, or rank 1 that correlates to the tier of crests that you're using to buy the piece of gear. So if you buy like the hardest, highest difficulty, or hardest, highest crest, that'll get you like a rank 1 myth piece of gear, which you can then upgrade after farming for more things. You basically said farming is basically a part of the game, and what I'm saying is I agree, but why can't we farm for something that'll guarantee us a piece of gear in the end rather than this RNG crap? Oh! Maintenance is completed and realms are live already. Nice. Very good. That means I'll be playing for another like 40 minutes. And then going to WoW. Where am I going? To the pillars. Up here. For those of you who don't know, who don't play World of Warcraft, the end game is very much run the same dungeon a million times for a chance at a piece of gear, and you can do higher difficulty dungeons, which will give you stronger, the same weapons and gear, but just stronger, but for the same chance. And it's not like if you run a higher level dungeon, you get a better chance at getting the piece of gear. You only get a chance, the same chance at the same piece of gear. Why can't we run the same dungeon at a higher difficulty, get a token or a badge, use that badge or token or whatever to buy a piece of gear that correlates with kind of like the level of dungeon we're doing at the rank 1 version of it though, and then use like another currency that we already get in the expansion to level it up. Like, what's so wrong with that system? This guy's argument was farming gear is literally what the game is about. He's trying to argue against me, but what he's doing is he's proving my point. Because all I'm saying is, yeah, we're still farming for gear, but add in something that we guaranteed to get after every dungeon, that eventually after a certain amount of times, still running the same dungeon, still doing the same thing this person is arguing that I'm arguing against. Apparently he thinks I'm arguing against. Keep doing it over and over and over again, farming for this item to eventually get it, a piece of gear that we're targeting, rather than having a chance but never getting the piece of gear, because the chances, our whole RNG system, the whole randomizer system just doesn't want to give you a piece of gear sometimes, more often than not. So just throwing that out there. It's been a point of contention for me in Warcraft Endgame for like a long time, and I'm just starting to voice it. So because I'm playing Final Fantasy, and I've noticed that you can do that in Final Fantasy, and it's just kind of brought this out in me. So if y'all are wondering why I'm talking about that, that's why. Now back to the prepaid programming.